There is an approval for the death penalty for dealers and importers of cocaine, heroin, and other hard drugs into the country. The proposed capital punishment also applies to manufacturing, trafficking, dealing in, or delivery of hard drugs by any means. The Senate arrived at a resolution on the floor of the Red Chamber after deliberations on the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Amendment Bill 2024. The maximum punishment in the extant law for offender is life imprisonment. It was Senator Ndume who brought that up, and Senator Adams Oshiomhole raised his hand to shoot it down. But of course, the Deputy Senate President, who was sitting in as the presiding officer, shot it down, and he passed the third reading. If he goes through to the very end and assented by the president, that means anybody who is being caught and found guilty of these offenses by our court will have to go through the death penalty as punishment. Let me speak with the man who brought that up on the floor of the Senate today. Senator Ndume is the chief whip of the Senate. He's live here with me in our studio. Thank you so much, Senator, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. A lot of Nigerians, before we get into the death penalty part, are not happy with you and your colleagues. I don't know how you feel when you hear the agitation about the levy upon levies and the tariff and upon tariff, based on the fact that the value of the naira is not what it used to be. You heard what the TUC president said there.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I've been an advocate of looking at those that we govern or we represent. That is the people of the country. With these levies, taxes. And you remember, even the communication service tax, I fought that. It's only that I didn't succeed. You cannot be loading taxes on people where you are not increasing their income, or their source of income is not, you are not widening it, or you are not increasing it. So I'm not part of those that support levy anyhow.
But you were there when they passed that law.
I'm coming.
The amendment.
I will give you all that. The amendment to cybercrime, I'm a senator. You know, I supported it, but not the nitty-gritty. And I'm not trying to run away from any blame. We have issues with cybercrime, you know that. Mm-hmm. And there is a need for the government to improve on the Cybercrime Act. That is what I understand by the amendment. I did not, and most of our colleagues, you know, all the laws are not perfect. And I take blame where I have to. Looking at the nitty-gritty would have been the responsibility of interested parties. I heard the TUC president now, and that's where, you know, when you are standing on your own fault, you don't see you only see the other man's fault. In every law that we pass in the National Assembly, first, there must be public hearing. And that public hearing, there is a law or this procedure you must publicize in the radio, print, media, and that is going to be public hearing. Why were they? And part of it is, if you get a copy, you bring your submission, or you come to the public hearing and hear and analyze and look at it with eagle eye. He is supposed to, or his representative is supposed to be there to look at the interests of the people he's talking about now. And as I told you, if I had known that there is an issue where the cost will be transferred to a customer or a Nigerian, I would not agree.
Senator, you know why I'm a bit...
Now, let me land.
Just for a moment.
Please.
You know the reason why...
Let me land.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Please. That is why you have the civil society organizations. That's why you have the labor itself. That's why you have the TUC. It is not all about we, the lawmakers. And let me add here that for me, for example, I am in the APC. I'm the chief whip. I'm supporting I'm supposed to be supporting the policies of APC government. But you can see severally, if the APC government, or even Mr. President, who I'm close to, you know, the task from doing the right thing, I'll come here and even speak about it. So this thing is not something that we just come to TV and be shouting, like that.
Senator, let me ask you quickly. Let me ask you. Can you remember when the Cybercrime Act was amended?
Yes.
When was it?
This year.
Yes, it was. I mean, it's 2024.
Yeah, this year, but I can't remember the dates here.
That is problem. That's the problem. You know why?
No,
the
that's
problem?
That's your even problem.
Just hold on, Senator. I know
we have started
those.
Again.
No, Senator.
Are
we're
you
having a conversation now.
Wait, are you here to interrogate me or to interview me?
No, I'm interviewing you, and I'm asking
so
a
please
question.
Interview me. Don't interrogate me.
Senator,
I told you.
Would you allow me to ask you a question?
No, I will not answer your question.
Let me allow me to ask the question, Senator.
No, don't allow. I will answer your question, but I will not answer or subject myself to any interrogation because I didn't come for interrogation. I came for interview.
Now, today you're starting with a defense, Senator. But the question I wanted to ask is, there are reporters, colleagues of mine, that have asked to look at their archives, to look their notes, and remind us, because I am a political journalist, and this is what I do every day. Maybe I missed it. What about those who report to the National Assembly every day? I've asked several of our friends who are in the civil society who monitor daily and have staff who sit in the National Assembly every day. They cannot remember when this amendment happened. And the question is that, how come this was so quiet, so silent, that a lot of Nigerians... Because, Senator, the reason why I invited you was I watched your debate on the floor, and I was interested in what was going on your mind when you raised the death penalty, when that bill was going on. I remember the salaries, wages amendment bill that went on. There's several amendments that we are aware of, that we monitor. Why is this one the one that a lot of Nigerians cannot even remember? And it happened, we are just in May.
Yeah, but let me tell you, no bill, I repeat 3 times, no bill will be passed without going through the due process. None.
I'm afraid this may be
something. No. If it is, now I'll tell you. How about Shehu? I won't come here and lie to you. It's not part of my character. No bill. You can say that there are maybe people did not look at this cybercrime something as something that will go that way even. Now that they say Levy, and I had the figures, then I say, wow, what? And people reacted. And you could see the reaction of even from the House of Rep and even my colleagues.
You see that this is not, you think that this is not in the interest of Nigerians, don't you think?
The cybercrime, what is wrong there is the levy. But the cybercrime is in the interest of Nigeria. But why asking me to pay for what you are supposed to do? Cybercrime is part of crime, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And the responsibility of government is to protect people from crime. Why do they have to pay for it?
So it's ill-timed, isn't it?
Yeah, that is number one. No, to me, let me put it here on record. It's not, it's something that I need to look at it again. Why would you add another burden onto a Nigerian? I will not support that. I don't. And as I told you, I take it. If I had known that there was anything that has to do with placing additional burden on a Nigerian, I will not support it. Now, the House of Rep and the National Assembly is saying, oh, you are asking Nigerians to pay for that again? No, wait a minute, stop that first. And that's the position. Stop that too. Then that circular that you issued is confusing. Now, we are saying levy. Who is going to pay the levy? Is it the bank, or is it the government, or the citizens? Why would I take my money to the bank and then pay for protecting that money?
They've said it in directive.
No, they said it now.
That it will be charged on the customer.
It
will be with the bank, and the bank will have to.
Wait now. That's where the problem is. Shehu, please, whenever we come to do interview, allow me to talk so that we will help Nigerians to understand some of this. I'm against this.
I disagree on this one. That's why you think you are.
I'm totally against what I call the bank or financial cartel. I said it here before, existing in this country. Besides this one now, there are a lot of charges on me in my account. I've even stopped counting. They will charge me for...
SMS?
Not SMS. SMS, I use it now.
No. SMS alerts. You know, when bank give you a lot or your, they will
They
charge,
will charge
you for
me
that.
for that. They will charge me for turnover. They will charge
Online
me.
transaction.
In fact, I've lost the number of charges. Now they are going to bring another charge again. I'm against that. And do you know what? There is not even accountability for all these charges. There's no account. So that is another big problem that Nigerians are facing. Big one. Because there are financial cartel in this country colluding with banks. And then there are places of so things on Nigerians. So, like now, if you withdraw a check, you transfer money to some, they will charge you 52 naira. And then the person that is receiving the money, will charge him 15. You can count the number of transactions in a day or even in 1 hour in this country where we are moving through to cashless society. But you now, you want to transfer 10,000 to me, they take away 52,000 from you. You say, you know, but if you go and sit down, I'm looking at my this and this, and look at these charges now. I have commissioned somebody to add it for me. In a year, how much does the bank charge me? But there is a serious need to look at these charges holistically. And who is supposed to be charged?
Senator, why do you think that capital punishment, which is the maximum punishment, should be meted out on anyone who is caught or of trading or using the drug, heroin, cocaine, and the rest?
Number one, the importers or exporters or dealers in hard drugs kill more people than even the bandits or terrorists. And in fact, these terrorists, bandits, kill under mostly the influence of drugs. So you have to nip it in the bud. We have in the previous act, life sentence. It did not deter. I want Nigerians to understand that Ndume is not proposing that you should just go and kill all the drug dealers. No. Death sentence should be a deterrent. And anybody that involves in such criminality means that he's ready to die for it. So if he's killed, it's not a big deal. And the earlier we do something, you can imagine what drugs has done to Nigerian youths and even the country as a whole, the image of Nigeria.
So you look at other countries like China,
yes,
Saudi Arabia.
China, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Bangladesh, name it, many.
Is it working for them?
It's working, it's working. If you go to the prisons now in Indonesia, China, where the those that are waiting for their death sentence, that are drug-related crimes, mostly are Nigerians.
But the human rights...
If you go to Ethiopia here,
which
one is human rights?
No, hold on, Senator. The human rights body, just reload.
Which one is human rights body? Please, I don't want to talk about that.
They propose...
What of the human rights of those people that they are killing? What of the rights of those people that they are killing? Don't go there, please. Talk about the right thing, not to human rights. Who this human rights that you are talking, who gave them the mandate?
But this is not...
Wait now, I'm the lawyer, I'm a senator, I have the right. People elected me to make laws, and you are talking about human rights. All these people that will go and open office and say they are human rights, fighting the rights of people. What about the right of the people that are being killed? The drug is killing our youths. The drug is killing our society. The drugs is giving our country bad name, and you are saying human rights. Maybe they are drug dealers too. Anybody that is supporting criminality is a criminal.
And I'm saying that the death penalty, there is a global advocacy against the use of death penalty as a deterrent or as a punishment.
No, even in America, there is death penalty.
There is a moratorium.
Even in America right now, they are killing, there is death penalty. It has not been, some states.
There was a moratorium on the use of death penalty.
No.
It was a global advocacy.
No, I'm telling you,
law.
Don't tell me what you don't know. There is death penalty is applicable in America right now.
I'm saying there is a moratorium.
Which one is moratorium?
Moratorium is hold on the use because there are advocacy globally.
Which one advocacy?
About
these are promoters of criminality. They are promoters of criminality.
You think that death penalty will actually be a good deterrent?
Yes, it's the best deterrent. If you don't go and do drug, nobody will kill you. If you go and do drug, you are killing people. In fact, you have killed, mostly, that means you have destroy the life of many people, kill so many people. So if they kill you, you're only one. And you are saving these people that would have died because of what you are doing.
There are those who will say there is a kind of offense that is common to the political elite, which is corruption.
Yeah.
Why are we not using the death penalty?
Let me tell you, point blank, if death penalty is supposed to be included in corruption, I will support it. But you don't go, somebody that stole 1 million, you go and kill him. And then somebody that stole 1 billion, you go and kill him. No, but I'm in support of saying you have progressive. If you steal 1 billion, maybe you go to life imprisonment or imprisonment for 20 years. I support that. But if you go and steal, like some people are hearing 1 trillion and government's money, that means you have deprived so many people. No, that person should be killed.
So we should start thinking about that.
That too. But let's start with the drugs because it's the most important one. And then if the politicians or public servants or whoever is engaged in corruption, no, corruption is they kill people now. This Bangladesh recently sentenced a woman, a bank manager, which to start for the financial criminals, you know, that are causing dollar to go up, that are doing, what do they call it, money laundering within them, the banks, you know, that are charging people anyhow, and then they are not accounting for that people. Before you come to us politicians, I know that is the direction you are going. We politicians, even if you call us anything, if you compare us to all the corruption, our own is a very small one. Our corruption is people-driven. You steal all the money, you go and share it with the people. If you don't, you are not coming back after 4 years.
So that's the reason why most of you steal the money.
No. Some will go and keep it. There's no reason for stealing. I've been in the National Assembly. I can't say, you know, people will not look at you on the TV now and say, I'm a clean person. No. I have to say the truth.
So, Senator, if you look at it, Senator Adams Oshomole opposed it.
No.
What do you think about his
No, I don't want to talk about
comment?
what position. He has the right to for
No. That's a debate. You know,
he didn't debate it now. Let me tell you what happened. I moved for the amendment, and it was seconded immediately by my deputy. And most of our members, and let me tell you, even initially from the committee, I'm not part of the committee, but majority of the committee members that sat to do that report suggested that death sentence. Somewhere along the way, finally, you know, they brought the report so that the committee in the whole of the whole will decide. And we said, I supported I moved for the motion for the amendment, and then it was seconded, and they put into vote, and it was accepted. If Adam Oshomole wanted really to stand against what I said, he would have called for division immediately. That is the tradition in the Senate. He didn't do that. It was after he passed. That was why the presiding officer said, it's too late, because you had the opportunity to call for division so that those that are against would stand on one side, and then those that are in favor should stand on one side, and you physically count number of us to know who is against, then you arrive at the number.
The death penalty that you are proposing, which it was amended, was actually a section 11 of course, of the original bill that, the act which you're trying to. So this is the old law, which a lot of people might be conversant with. But the maximum penalty in the old law, Senator, is about 25 years.
No, that is the older one.
That's what
that is old one. That's the first amendment. The second amendment, which we are considering now, was life imprisonment.
For dealing,
for importing, dealing, selling hard drugs, specified, heroin, cocaine. Is there one drug they call SLD or what again?
There's one. There's other one in the classes of all of those drugs. Yes, I'll get it. Please.
Those are the they call it dangerous drugs or hard drugs. Those are the ones that carried life. LSD. It goes in the last amendment. I think the one you are looking at is the 2018
This is 2023, 2003 rather.
2000.
I think there is an
There is
earlier one,
2004.
2000,
There is this one 2023.
I think there's a 2003. No, there's a 2003.
2000. But this one is the latest now, which we are amending. It recommended life imprisonment. And also, let me add one thing. In the same amendment which we supported, we reduced the sentence for users from 15 years maximum to 5 years maximum. And why we did that, or I supported that, is that I'm supporting death sentence for importers or exporters, but I'm not supporting even life imprisonment or any imprisonment that is exceeding 5 years for users. Why I was thinking that way and my colleagues supported it is, if you give somebody a maximum of 5 years, that is you are rehabilitating that person. When you send him to prison, that is no longer prison, it's called correctional center. Then the person will mean, ordinarily, he will not have a chance to have access to drugs. In 2 years, he will be completely rehabilitated. And that is because from what I'm hearing, I did a lot of work on it. They have various rehab centers now. That is very common because the drug problem is becoming a menace in our society.
Especially for the young ones.
Yes. So they take them to rehab centers, spend 6 months or 1 year, and then when they come back again, you don't go back to it. So why don't you put that person in prison for 3, 4, 5 years, depending on what the doctors or experts feel that person, because that will help the judge to determine the sentence. If you put a young man in prison for 3 years and he comes out a person and it gives him the chance to look at deep down and rehabilitate himself, you are doing the society good. But now what we are facing in this country, is dangerous. So somebody killed his father in Kano under the influence drug. Somebody stabbed his pregnant wife in Edo under the influence of drugs. Somebody jumped from second floor under the influence of drug because he said the lift was not coming, fast enough.
There are those who will say, Senator, that some of the drugs classified there, heroin, cocaine, LSD, and the rest, that in fact those are even too expensive for some people.
Poor people.
Yeah.
And they are not manufactured here, and they are not grown here.
Absolutely.
So that means you see the elites are involved.
Yeah. So there are other misuse of drugs like codeine, like other medications that are gotten over the counter. What do you think about it? If those
ones are simple, and NDLE. First of all, let me say we have somebody very serious in NDLE, retired General Buba Marwa. If the government on the law, that is why we support this law. If you give him good law and support, he will do it. He will clean this country in the next 5, 10 years. It's not something that is overnight. This in America, besides Panadol, even that, it's not easy. You don't go over the counter to buy all these drugs that you would.
Don't even go too far. Go to Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
But Nigeria, at every corner that you get to, you see one small
whatever, you can buy every drug.
Anything
yes. Recently, I went to Saudi Arabia. I had small malaria. I couldn't get the drug.
Because it's well controlled.
Yes, and then
lives are being destroyed by the misuse of drugs.
Let me tell you now, I called my friend, a doctor in Nigeria. He said, go and buy Zenat. I went there, they said, no, you have to go and get prescription from doctor. Recently. So I had to go to hospital.
There needs to be, I don't know what the Minister of Health, NAFDAC, and some other agencies are going to be doing about over-the-counter drugs that have become a menace, that people just arbitrarily use and misuse these drugs, and it's destroying a lot of lives. People become so addicted to some of these drugs, and they cannot get away from it. And it's destroying people's lives.
In fact, it's even destroying our hospitals. Most of us don't want to go to hospital to see a doctor again. If you feel headache, you go and buy the drug you prescribe for yourself. You don't want to wait. You don't have the time to go and see the doctor. And maybe you have headache now. You don't know that it is more than headache. Maybe it's just something for another disease. Instead of going to doctor, because you know that you can go to health medics and just say,
So, Senator, this law still has the amendment still has about 1.5 lap to go. There is a fourth reading, and there is a presidential assent. Do you see this actually going successfully?
Yeah, inshallah. You know why I'm here? It's a kind of campaign that Nigerians should support this my amendment.
So when I called you, you were very anxious.
Yeah, I was very anxious to come.
You wanted to
Otherwise, I don't want to come and sit down here with you. Come and start interrogating me.
Because I'm always very, very, you and your colleagues within the political class, you need to do more for the Nigerian people.
Of course.
And that's why I would like to ask you, President Bola Tinubu is going to be 1 year in office. Do you think Nigerian people are happy with your government?
No, they are not, because we are taking tough decisions. And normally when you take tough decisions, there are consequences to it. And that's what the president is dealing with it. I commend him for being able to take bold decisions. But then we have more to do with getting Nigerians to carry Nigerians, looking at the consequences of the decisions taken. I have issues with some of the decisions taken. Nigerians are in support of this government. They are in support of removal of fuel subsidy, for example. But not adequate preparation was made to cushion the effect of such subsidy removal. And we have seen, and the backlash of it is more on the government. But one good thing, as I still say, if my perception or my thinking about the president changes, I will come here and say it.
Senator, I had...
But wait now. The president is in the office for only 1 year. 1 year now. He celebrated it. I still want to appeal to Nigerians to give Mr. President chance. And this is a listening president, reactive. Anytime you should make suggestions as to how to move this country forward. Don't concentrate on just criticizing or, what do I even call it, dismissing. The government has taken some bold decisions. And I can see the good intent up to now. It's going to be painful. But the my biggest disagreement is that when you take a decision that has to do with the masses, you must or you should take cognizance of the consequences or the effect of that on the masses. Like when palliative was introduced, that was a short-term intervention. But then there should be medium-term and long-term, as I said. Yeah. Like introducing food stamp, doing this. And interestingly, I found out that this government, now going forward, I think the president will, or we in the National Assembly, I'll push for it.
Thank you so much, Senator. We need to go. Well, you do know me. I say that it is, if we see in the media here, especially right on China's television, if the government is doing something that is right, we will help the government. But if the government is, unfortunately, the Constitution gives us a very tough job to say, and doesn't make us look good, and we don't want to look good if we are doing our jobs. It says we should hold the government accountable for the interests of the Nigerian people. And if Nigerians are happy, we will all be happy.
But
thank you, Senator.
No. Let me say something.
We are totally out of time.
No. You said something. I have the right to.
You don't have to say it.
You are not in support of this government. You have a mindset about the government of Tinubu. If you change your mindset, it's better because you are a journalist. You are safe and Arise Television.
Senator,
they don't like APC. That's the truth.
I can only laugh, Senator, but your position is totally wrong.
No, it's
leave
Nigerians to judge that.
I'm a Nigerian, don't forget. Am I a Chadian or a Nigerian?
The China's television don't like APC, and we understand. So we come and explain to you.
Your position is totally
wrong. But you are
wrong.
better than...
we are on the side of the Nigerian
You are
people.
better than Arise.
Senator Ali Ndume, Chief Whip of the Senate, thank you so much indeed. Albeit your position totally wrong about China's television. We are on the side of people. We do our job professionally, and that's why we are here, for the interest of the Nigerian people. That's how we close the program tonight. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Sunday, 8 p.m. God bless Nigeria.